Okay, I did not think I would have to make a response video anytime soon, but as soon as I saw this video that I needed to respond to, I couldn't stay silent. So I'm a huge Miraculous fan. I watched a show called Miraculous, which is the story of two heroes who face against a supervillain with magic powers. There's a current theory with one of the main characters, Adrian, with people believing that he is a sentient monster. There is one creator in particular, Lizzie, who runs a channel called Adrixnette, and she's made some pretty good videos explaining why Adrian is a sentient monster. Now, I'm one of those people who are against this theory. I do not believe Adrian is a sentient monster, and I commented on one of her videos explaining my reasons why Adrian is a sentient monster. What I didn't expect was for Lizzie to make a response video to my comment, disproving some of my theories. So, I'm going to explain to you guys why I don't believe Adrian is a sentient monster, all the proofs that I have, and why some people still think that Adrian is a sentient monster. Firstly, you need to know some of the history that started this entire theory. Now, Season 5 was the game changer for Miraculous. It was where the storyline kept changing constantly. And because of this, it sparked so many revelations, so many theories. Like, for example, we got to see Zoe become a lesbian, Natalie stopped helping Gabriel, all that stuff. Of course, the theory of Adrian being a sentient monster kept flying around, and this came into head with representation. Representation is the main cause of why people believe that Adrian is a sentient monster. In that episode, we see Felix explaining to Marinette how he and Adrian came to life, and there's been a big use of the Peacock Miraculous in this. The Peacock Miraculous was used to create Felix, while Adrian's birth was considered a miracle baby. Now here was the major hiccup. People believed that both Adrian and Felix were sentient monsters because of this episode. This was what angered me the most. Only Felix was confirmed to be a sentient monster. He was explicitly confirmed to have been created by using the Peacock Miraculous. But with Adrian, it didn't even say that. It just said that he was some kind of miracle baby. But again, people still believe the Peacock Miraculous was used to create Adrian too because of the context clues. I'll give you an example. For the background of which Adrian and Felix's mothers got pregnant, Emily and Amelie, the same Peacock background was used for both of them. That's what led people to believe that Adrian and Felix were both sentient monsters because the same background was used and the Peacock Miraculous created them, so what else could they be? Well, let me prove you wrong. Suppose that Adrian was a sentient monster for just a minute, and that Emily used the Peacock Miraculous to create him. If you look in both pictures, you'll see Gabriel and Emily being overjoyed with pregnancy, and Colton, the father of Felix, who did use the Peacock Miraculous, trying to reach Amelie's belly to get to Felix, but he's struggling. He's having a hard time dealing with the aftermath of using the damaged Peacock Miraculous which made him sick. If Emily was struggling, she'd probably be bedridden. And even later, like minutes after we saw Adrian getting pregnant, Emily just seemed to be kind of sad that her twin sister didn't get pregnant. She didn't even look like she was struggling. So that is why only Felix has been confirmed to be a sentient monster in that episode. If you have any other evidence from me from that episode that proves that Adrian is a sentient monster, let me know in the comments and I'll respond to that. Now, let me explain some of the points I included in this comment right here, which is why also Adrian is not a sentient monster. Firstly, sentient monsters are magic. They are 100% magic. It doesn't matter if they were designed to be something else, because they still can be that said something else, but they are still created by magic. There was a New York special I watched for Miraculous, and there is this robot named Uncanny Valley that can detect humans. But it can't detect magic. It can't detect the magical powers of the Miraculous. Any human she saw appeared in a bright yellow color, and so did Adrian. Suppose that he was a sentient monster. He was designed to be a 100% human, but there is still a magic element inside him. So he would have appeared in a different color like blue, or not at all. It doesn't matter if he was designed to be a human because he was still created by magic. He's not 100% human. I mean, he's 100% designed to be a human, like this comment says. He's designed to be human and he fully is a human, but there is still some sort of magic bound to Adrian. So he either would have appeared a different color or not appeared at all. I do have another example of his magic being kind of effective. Let's go to Season 3, Episode 7, which I think was called Miraculous. If the sentient monster is cataclysmed, meaning the user of the black cat uses their power on them, they'll spiral out of control. They'll just keep going crazy and crazy until somebody stops them or captures their amok, and wipes them out of existence. However, that never happened to Adrian because he was cataclysmed in that episode. His power was stolen and he was cataclysmed straight in the ribs. I felt that. He didn't go crazy at all. He just more or less struggled for health. I did see somebody say that maybe because it was a copy of Adrian's power and not the full Adrian's power, it just probably wasn't as effective. And I think there might be a point to that because when Monarch was cataclysmed with the full power of the Black Cat Miraculous, he died. And he got a statue. But again, just like I said with the New York special, Adrian has some magic bound to him. That means the Cataclysm had to have made him go somewhat crazy. No matter what, Senti monsters will always have some magic bound to them. It doesn't matter if they were designed to be a human or a robot, because they can always be that, but the Senti monster magic will always stick with them. Now, I understand that there are still some points which I don't have answers to as to why Adrian is not a Senti monster. I did watch the response video to my comment a few times, and honestly, those points were pretty good. So why do I still believe Adrian is not a Senti monster? Well, to do that, I'm going to have to explain to you the points to why people think that Adrian is a Senti monster. So let's start with adoration. So Adrian and Marinette are about to kiss, Gabriel appears up, goofy-eyed looking, twists his ring, where the amok is supposedly be, and Adrian walks away instead of kissing Marinette. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. That is the one point that I do not have an argument to. Clearly, I just think that it's teasing you. That is just teasing you. The ring where the amok supposedly is a double ring, and Gabriel split that ring with Natalie. Admittingly, the show does share some moments where Gabriel twists his ring and Adrian obeys him. That's why people believe that Adrian is a Senti monster, because of the ring. I do have one argument though that could counteract this. It's Gabriel going crazy. Remember how I previously stated that Natalie stopped helping Gabriel rescue Emily in season 5? Natalie was there to keep Gabriel sane. Gabriel went completely crazy after Natalie left and started doing all of this kind of crazy stuff. Natalie was there to remind Gabriel the reason why he was doing this, to get Emily back together. But when she quit, Gabriel seemed to forget that the reason he was doing this was for Emily. He just went after Ladybug and Cat Noir because that seemed like his main mission. That has to be why he twists his ring so much, because Natalie was there to remind him that the reason he was being a villain in the first place was for Emily. You know what? Speaking of Emily, let's actually go back a little back to representation. In the comment that I stated, Gabriel had the miraculous after Adrian was born. Well, turns out I didn't check that. So I am realizing now that if we go back to Revelation, we can see a picture of Gabriel, Natalie, and Emily finding the Peacock Miraculous in the snow. And that had to have been before Adrian was born, because why else would it be there? Now hold on, I do have a counter argument though. After Emily got pregnant with Adrian, Colt went really mad at Gabriel. So Gabriel and Colt arrange a meeting, and Gabriel says in this exact words, After many
much study,
I have
discovered
found
a solution for you and your wife. But there were
Note, after many study. He had to have researched this. He had to make sure that the Peacock Miraculous could get somebody pregnant. He said after many study, he found a solution. So that means Adrian really was just a miracle baby. Because we already saw that Emily wasn't really struggling much when she got pregnant. And she asked Gabriel if there was anything they could do, note anything, not just explicitly asking if they could do the same thing for them to get pregnant. So that's what stands out to me the most for representation. Gabriel needed to study, he needed to find a solution, but it wasn't for Emily. Since I'm doing this big explanation thing as to why I believe Adrian is not a Senti monster, I might as well explain my motivation as to why I don't believe this. There's been comments like, people who believe that Adrian is not a Senti monster just don't want that theory to be real. And now, I will admit that there is one big part of me that hopes that this theory isn't real, but my main motive is, well, the logic of it. Not the logic as in the evidence that I just presented in this video. I mean the logic as in, does this really make sense? Does it really make sense to do something that makes the secondary protagonist of the show so fragile? Does it really make sense to do something that could just destroy that character in an instant. Just like, think about it, one snap and boom, gone. That's been my main motive. So if Adrian really is a Senti monster, the one thing I want to find out is why. Thank you for listening to my side of the story.